Train 88. This ain't no ordinary ride. We roll with legacy, love, and fire in our bones. Let's go. Let's go. Boots on the ground, banjo in my hand. True train rolling through the promised land. Chief Mike lit the torch, now sheepdog lead. Matriarch's grace, yeah, that's all we need. Fiddle crying like a spirit in the wind. Bass thumping like the truth setting in. We don't follow trends, we follow the flame. True Train 88, remember the name. True Train 88, rolling through the night, guided by the chief. We're rising to the light, with the matriarch's grace. We stand as one. The power of the sheepdog love, our rising sun. OCO, we gather, hearts open wide. Gadoogie in motion, love as a guide. GVUE, we sing to the sky. Holy hill is deep, joy never dies. Red cardinal flying, wings in the breeze. Banjo strumming like a prayer on his knees. You carry the promise, you carry the flame. In our rising tribe, we call your name. Wide old matriarch, for your sacred way. Your generosity lights our day. Your grace is the fire in our tribal dream. Your love flows strong in every stream. Fiddle licks 808, boot stomping trail, healing frequencies rise like steam. True Train 88, this ain't no dream. True Train 88, we ride with the flame. True Train 88, we rise in a name. GVUE, GVUE, the journey goes on. In the power of love, we are never gone.
Well, good Taco Tuesday evening, everybody.
It's Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tequila Tuesday.
Oh, that means we're taking tomorrow off then, right?
Maybe tomorrow morning.
There's a reason that Spanish countries have a siesta.
That's right. How's everybody doing today?
Pretty damn good.
Fantastic on purpose.
Really digging this Beaver moon. It was pretty badass this morning when I went out there and took a look at it. Well, last night and then going into this early this rise
We'll
one.
go until tomorrow morning.
Thing was huge.
Yeah, full moon.
Yeah, super moon actually. Yeah.
This
And it's
lunar
fun.
cycle is the largest supermoon. It's, if you want to get into the celestial model that NASA talks about, it's the largest supermoon that closest to the Earth, I don't know, for like a huge amount of years, some stupid number of years. And it all coincides with tomorrow, which is, remember the 5th of November, the oldest delta in the book.
Well, if we're talking about a supermoon, I hope you guys are talking about you pulling your pants up, right?
Do a parasite phase. Do that. Don't forget your binder.
Mooning people and streaking are things of the past because we are too politically correct of a society.
Speak for yourself, Gan.
Well, nothing here.
Speaking of Bieber, Dick Cheney passed away today.
Yes.
Oh,
So
No,
I was in
I turned my phone back on because I was resting this morning and I saw that. I'm like, wasn't that old bastard dead already?
I thought he already died.
So I was in the Badlands chat this morning, and they went over Sam, most mornings on and off. And I swear that Dick Cheney died a couple of years ago. I think this is the Mandela effect. I remember him passing away a couple of years ago, to the public eye, not from Real Raw News or something.
Yeah, I think he was on his 12th part.
He's like a cat, dude. I'm like Gan. I thought one of the Bushes got rid of him during a hunting trip.
That sounds like
Mm.
According to reports, that was an accident.
Yeah. What was that, judge? What's his name?
Oh, he shot a judge?
No, the judge that was shot. What was his name? Hunting.
Oh, I don't know. I can't remember.
The one that looks like Steve Bannon.
Oh,
Yeah.
Steve Scalise?
Scalise, yes.
Oh, when he went to the hunting lodge.
Yes. Several gets accidentally.
That was a while ago. I was thinking a couple of years ago he passed. So I saw that this morning. I was like, wait, this is a rerun.
Volumes. Well,
Do we need to have a moment of silence for Mr. Cheney? I heard that laugh.
I wish I had a soundboard right now. I'll give you.
Let's get a moment of silence for Dick Cheney.
Pull my finger. Oh, wait, wrong moment of silence. I'm sorry.
We're starting a moment of silence, Gan, not a colon cleansing.
Get a moment of silence for Dick Cheney on the Beaver Moon. Anyways, there's a shortage of hunters in Ohio. That was a hell of a transition, wasn't it?
yeah.
So, one of these days, I guess we could all go snipe hunting.
Knife hunting?
Yeah. You ever been snipe hunting?
You better, You gonna chase a deer with a knife? You gonna chase a deer with a butter knife?
That's it. Uh-oh. Gan must have got blackballed for his pull my finger comment. He dropped off.
He's probably trying to share something.
It's that bandwidth. Oh, buddy.
Yeah, it's startling. Yeah, startling. There's a lot of
He's back.
He's gone.
Let's see if something else to share. Is it on Facebook?
I don't know. I know Gan. I talked to Gan earlier. He had some things that he wanted to bring to the table and share today. Didn't know what you guys had planned.
Yeah, go ahead.
You want to take the lead here, Gan? What you got, brother?
Oh, I can. It might be helpful if you run the video instead of me, Mike. On the Gandalf Rumble page, there's that Mind Matrix video that I put up the other day.
I got it queued up.
Okay, so I want to talk about this for a second. This is from a year ago, actually a little over a year ago. Mike and I were researching stuff around the around a specific chipset, Willow chipset that Microsoft was touting as the next step in quantum computing. And if you watch the 60 Minutes interview that Trump did a couple of days ago, he talks about these really super duper advanced chips that only the US is going to have access to, that NVIDIA, who's making the chipset, will be able to sell some stuff into, no, it's not a Hasselhoff video. There's some stuff, but not the really advanced stuff. We are the only ones that were going to have that, because we're going to be the leaders in AI, and we're going to be the leaders in quantum. And I know that Mike has got, Durendal has got a little bit of backup on this with the IoT, Internet of Things. And really, my point here is that it's super duper important that you protect your intention, and that you protect your DNA, of course, post 4966, but out of the Q side. But it's very easy to go down the slippery slope of giving away your energy into this digital environment. And it's very difficult not to engage with. It's a little easier for me. I live up here in the mountains, and I spend most of my time with animals. But if you've got to sit down and engage with your computer, there's this whole Internet of Things that's happening, and we are the thing in the Internet of Things. And if we stand up against that, there has to be enough of us that are standing outside of the matrix to be able to draw the others out. Someone's got to go back into the burning digital building and help those that we love. So that this, there's a little bit of an echo in this video. I think it's the reason that I didn't put it up last year. It's not too horrible, but that's from when I made it. It was early in my AI video making play. But this is from a year ago, a little over a year ago. And Mike and I were doing a lot of research down the line at the time. But the digital world has an impression upon us. Our laws of physics and quantum engagement tell us that observation is the most powerful component in the outcome of a quantum calculation. And the thing that Mike and I were talking about bringing forward most directly is that when we use our energy, our intention, our love for others, our engagement, that is the observation that defines our reality. So to say that a different way, when you pick a side, yes or no, left or right, black pill, red pill, whatever, that's defined by this Piscean age that we're exiting, and we're heading into the Aquarian age, which is very much a quantum engagement. In the Aquarian mindset, there is no division, there is only harmony. So what the quantum computers are attempting to do is to define the unknowns, the unobservable or yet to be observed in the Aquarian age. That's the wall that is being put up around us. So watching your heart, watching your mind, watching your actions, being cognizant of your intentions as you head into any engagement, whether it's with man, beast, or tree, that you are clear in what your intention is, that you are not being defined by intention that was impressed upon you by an AI or by a post or by a triggered rage because you're getting harped in your environment and your entire system is excited. To be able to find that peace of mind, peace of heart, and peace of spirit, that is where you're very, very hard to reach. You're hard to be sold into the fear model of whatever it may be, because there's a lot of fear out there. There's a lot of ways that you can get engaged with it. So, Mike, you want to cue up that video and Durendal? And
yes, sir.
It's about 10 minutes.
Coming up.
And the challenge of the Mind Matrix 2.0. It represents a paradigm shift in our understanding. Imagine a world where the boundaries of reality blur. Picture a realm where thoughts can interface directly with machines. This is the promise and the challenge of the Mind Matrix 2.0. It represents a paradigm shift in our understanding of consciousness, technology, and the very fabric of existence. The Mind Matrix 2.0 is not just a concept, it is a convergence of cutting-edge scientific advancements poised to redefine our reality. This revolution is fueled by breakthroughs in quantum computing, neurotechnology, and our evolving understanding of consciousness. It challenges us to reconsider the nature of reality itself, prompting us to ask profound questions about our place in the cosmos. As we delve deeper into the Mind Matrix 2.0, we embark on a journey that is both exhilarating and uncharted. The implications of this technological leap are far-reaching, touching upon every aspect of human existence. From healthcare and communication to entertainment and warfare, the Mind Matrix 2.0 has the potential to reshape our world in profound and unpredictable ways. As we stand on the cusp of this new era, it is imperative that we proceed with both caution and a sense of wonder.
We had sound before, Drendel.
Czar governs the behavior of particles at the smallest scales. It is a world where particles can exist in multiple states simultaneously, known as superposition. This strange phenomenon is not just a theoretical curiosity, it is the driving force behind quantum computers, machines capable of computational feats that dwarf even the most powerful classical computers. Google's Willow chip stands as a testament to this quantum revolution. This groundbreaking processor has demonstrated the ability to perform calculations in mere minutes. These same calculations would take classical computers thousands of years to complete. This remarkable feat has led some scientists to speculate that Willow may be tapping into the computational power of parallel universes. The concept of the multiverse, once relegated to the realm of science fiction, is now being seriously considered by physicists. The idea is that our universe is just one of many, each with its own set of physical laws and possibilities. If we could access these parallel universes, the implications for computation and our understanding of reality would be profound. The Mind Matrix 2.0, with its foundation in quantum computing, could be the key to unlocking these interdimensional gateways. While quantum computing pushes the boundaries of the external world, neurotechnology is making equally remarkable strides in bridging the gap between mind and machine. The Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA, is at the forefront of this research, developing revolutionary brain-machine interfaces that could redefine human capabilities. Imagine a world where thoughts alone can control prosthetic limbs, drones, or even complex computer systems. DARPA's N3 program is particularly ambitious, aiming to create high-performance, bidirectional brain-machine interfaces without the need for surgery. These non-invasive interfaces could allow soldiers to control swarms of drones or interface with advanced weapon systems using only their thoughts. The potential applications, however, extend far beyond the battlefield. Imagine a world where paralysis is no longer a barrier to movement, where thoughts can be downloaded and shared, and where the limitations of our physical bodies no longer constrain our potential. This is the promise of neurotechnology, a field poised to revolutionize healthcare, communication, and our very understanding of what it means to be human. As we merge our minds with machines, we enter uncharted territory, raising profound ethical questions about autonomy, privacy, and the essence of consciousness. The quest to understand the nature of reality is not new. It has captivated the minds of scientists and philosophers for centuries. Two giants of the 20th century, Nikola Tesla and Albert Einstein, famously clashed over their differing views on the very fabric of existence. Einstein, with his theory of relativity, revolutionized our understanding of gravity, space, and time. He envisioned a universe governed by a unified space-time continuum, where gravity is a consequence of the curvature of this fabric. Tesla, on the other hand, clung to the classical concept of the ether, an invisible medium that permeates all of space. He believed that electromagnetic waves, including light, propagated through this ether. This fundamental disagreement on the nature of the universe fueled a rivalry between these two scientific titans. Tesla famously dismissed Einstein's E equals mc squared, the equation that unlocked the secrets of nuclear energy, as mathematical poppycock. While Einstein's theories ultimately gained wider acceptance, Tesla's ideas about the ether and the nature of electromagnetism continue to intrigue some scientists today. Some argue that a deeper understanding of Tesla's work could hold the key to unlocking new forms of energy and even unifying gravity with the other fundamental forces of nature. The debate between Tesla and Einstein highlights the ever-evolving nature of scientific inquiry. It serves as a reminder that even the most established theories are subject to revision or replacement as our understanding of the universe deepens. Section 5, Schrödinger's cat, a quantum puzzle. One of the most baffling aspects of quantum mechanics is the concept of superposition, where a particle can exist in multiple states simultaneously. To illustrate this paradox, Erwin Schrödinger, one of the pioneers of quantum theory, proposed a now famous thought experiment involving a cat. Imagine a cat sealed inside a box with a device that has a 50% chance of releasing a lethal poison. According to quantum mechanics, until the box is opened and observed, the cat exists in a superposition of states. It is both alive and dead at the same time. Only upon observation does the cat's fate collapse into a single reality, either alive or dead. Schrödinger's cat, while a purely hypothetical scenario, highlights the bizarre and counterintuitive nature of the quantum world. It challenges our everyday understanding of reality, where objects exist in a single, definite state. The experiment raises profound questions about the role of observation in quantum mechanics and the very nature of reality itself. Does the act of observation somehow influence the outcome of quantum events? Or is there a deeper reality beyond our current understanding? Section 6, the Symphony of Consciousness, exploring the 528 Hz frequency. The human mind, with its capacity for thought, emotion, and creativity, remains one of the greatest mysteries of science. While we have made significant strides in understanding the brain, the nature of consciousness itself continues to elude us. Some researchers believe that consciousness may be connected to specific frequencies of energy or vibration within the brain. One such frequency that has garnered attention is 528 Hz, often referred to as the love frequency. Proponents claim that this frequency has a profound effect on human consciousness, promoting feelings of love, peace, and healing. They point to its use in ancient music and religious ceremonies as evidence of its power. While scientific evidence to support these claims is limited, anecdotal reports and the enduring fascination with 528 Hz suggest that there may be more to this frequency than meets the eye. Could certain frequencies of sound or vibration hold the key to unlocking hidden potentials within the human mind? The exploration of consciousness and its relationship to frequency is a frontier of science that is both exciting and potentially paradigm-shifting. Section 7, Bridging the Gaps, Quantum Mechanics and Neurotechnology. As we delve deeper into the realms of quantum mechanics and neurotechnology, it becomes increasingly apparent that these two fields, once considered distinct, are intricately interconnected. Quantum phenomena such as entanglement and superposition may play a crucial role in brain function and consciousness. Some scientists theorize that microtubules, tiny structures within brain cells, could utilize quantum effects to process information and generate consciousness. The development of advanced brain-machine interfaces relies on our understanding of the brain's electrical and chemical signaling pathways. Quantum sensors, with their unparalleled sensitivity, could revolutionize neuroscience, allowing us to monitor brain activity at an unprecedented level of detail. This could lead to breakthroughs in our understanding of consciousness, memory, and cognitive function. The convergence of quantum mechanics and neurotechnology has the potential to unlock the secrets of the human mind and pave the way for unimaginable technological advancements. Imagine a world where we can enhance our cognitive abilities, treat neurological disorders with precision, and even merge our consciousness with artificial intelligence. The possibilities, while both exhilarating and daunting, highlight the transformative power of scientific exploration and the profound implications of the Mind Matrix 2.0. Section 8, Ethical Considerations and Future Implications. The rapid pace of advancement in quantum computing and neurotechnology presents profound ethical and societal challenges. As we develop the ability to manipulate the human mind and delve into the depths of consciousness, we must proceed with caution and foresight. The potential for misuse of these technologies is significant, raising concerns about privacy, autonomy, and the very definition of what it means to be human. Imagine a world where thoughts can be read, memories can be altered, and individuals can be controlled against their will. The ethical implications of such scenarios are staggering. It is imperative that we establish clear ethical guidelines and regulations for the development and deployment of these powerful technologies. International cooperation and open dialogue among scientists, ethicists, policymakers, and the public are crucial to ensure that these advancements benefit humanity as a whole. The future of the Mind Matrix 2.0 is not predetermined. It is a future that we are actively shaping through our choices and actions. By embracing a spirit of responsible innovation and collaboration, we can harness the power of these technologies to create a future where human potential is limitless and the boundaries of reality are redefined. Section 9. Conclusion. The unfolding tapestry of reality. The Mind Matrix. 2.0 is more than just a technological revolution. It is a profound shift in our understanding of reality itself. It is a journey into uncharted territory where the boundaries of mind, machine, and the cosmos blur. As we delve deeper into the realms of quantum mechanics, neurotechnology, and consciousness, we are confronted with more questions than answers. Yet this uncertainty is not a cause for fear, but rather an invitation to explore, to question, and to push the boundaries of human knowledge. The tapestry of reality is constantly being woven, and we as conscious beings are active participants in this grand cosmic dance. The Mind Matrix 2.0 is a testament to the boundless potential of human ingenuity and our insatiable curiosity to unravel the mysteries of the universe and our place within it. As we continue to explore the uncharted territories of the Mind Matrix 2.0, one thing is certain: the journey itself will be as transformative as the destination. The future is not something to be predicted, but rather something to be created, and the choices we make today will determine the course of human evolution for generations to come.
I had forgotten there was barking in the end of that as well. So the point that I was making when I was making that video a year ago is that this overwhelming engagement that we have with technology has lasting effect. You know, I remember back in the day, I used to remember 100 phone numbers in my head, my top 100 needed phone numbers, you know, whether it was technical support people or customers or vendors or a cell phone number, whatever it may be, but we've been overtaken by that. Now your contacts, I have thousands of people in my contacts in Google Contacts. If your name doesn't show up on my phone, my chances of answering it are very low. So that's me bringing a filter into my existence based on a crutch. And that crutch is I no longer have to remember, you know, 1,000 or however many digits that would be, 100 phone numbers at 10 digits each. You know, that you're into the thousands of digits that are broken into specific phylum and species within your head. I mean, everyone can remember Jenny's phone number, you know, 867-5309. That was ground into us. So what are the other things that you're making yourself susceptible to as you use either an AI engine for research or these are small mental exercises that we just stop doing. And any muscle that you stop using becomes atrophied. And that atrophied muscle will not work or will be pulled or strained when it becomes under stress again. And that's critical thinking. That's getting through cognitive dissonance when someone tells you something that you are positive can't be true, a Mandela effect of some sort. And we're doing this to ourselves. The superposition that is discussed with the analogy of Schrodinger's cat is very interesting as well, because it is only observation that allows you to overcome the unknown. So you don't know, in Schrodinger's example, the cat is in the box and there's a bowl of poison cat food, and you don't know whether or not the cat has eaten the food or not, but you know eventually he will. So this is a quantum entanglement problem. So the beginning of quantum entanglement there were some rare earth elements about 100 years ago. They found these rare earth elements that when they split the elements apart, and they took them great distances, like thousands of miles or all the way across the realm from each other, as far as you could get. When they gave an electrical pulse to one half of the rock that had been split apart, it showed up immediately as an electronic pulse in the other half of that piece of specific type of quartz. And that breaks the speed of light and speed of sound barriers because it was literally instantaneous. And then a lot of the research went away. You couldn't find it, which, as we all know here, if they're telling us about it, they're showing us they're not very close to what they have currently. What they really have, the 9,000 hidden patents or whatever, is all much, much more advanced. I think this is a cycle, and we are not the most technologically advanced society that has been in this realm, even recently. So I know, Durandal, you also had some follow-up with a very recent work engagement that you had involving the security around all of this new information that they're gathering every second of every day, because we keep a spy device, which is a phone.
That is true. The web that surrounds all of us is very, very thick. So I don't want to turn this into a woe is me or some downtrodden. But we did a little bit of that last week when we were traveling. But I put a link in both of the chats on Rumble and your Facebook page of just a taste of what is happening with IoT and with the surrounding networks. Also, Bird and I traveled a total of 5,000 miles in the last 3 weeks. And even the rest areas that we stopped at in the middle of nowhere, there were cameras on light poles, cameras on the entrance to the concession stands, the restrooms. It's everywhere. So just pay attention to where you're at, because somebody's paying attention to you.
Well, it's not just the cameras that are on the light poles and in the rest areas. There's been a recent discovery, and I'm sure they've been doing this for quite some time, where the Ring doorbell cameras, those are being used for a larger facial recognition network. This was passed into legislation through the Big Beautiful Bill, and all of that is being managed and brought together through Palantir. Peter Thiel. If you don't know about Palantir and Peter Thiel, it's an excellent rabbit hole to dive down. Make sure you take some water. It's a deep one. But we are under observation. We all, people that listen to me consistently know that there's a perspective that we're just debt slaves and we're living in cells of our own construct that we manage and pay for. That if you take all the taxes and fees and everything else, we get to keep about 6% of our paycheck. Which ironically is the state sales tax in most states. So getting off the grid is an incredibly difficult thing to do anymore. And most people won't give up their phone. They have to go out and take pictures or do whatever. They have a reason that they are tied to this piece of technology. And your ability to cut that cord at your own will is a recapturing of your intention and your consent to be observed. That's
you want to answer that?
The Internet of Things is IoT, Internet of Things. And this was originally meant when the beginning of Bluetooth was released, about 15 or 18 years ago, when it became really adoptable. When Bluetooth came out, the Internet of Things was supposed to be Bluetooth connected devices. But with the advent of mRNA technology, there are videos out there where you can see that people get Bluetooth addresses after certain versions of the vaccine injection, and we become the Internet of Things, IoT. We are the things in the Internet of Things. We are to be tracked, managed, and modified at will with direct brain interfaces. There's what's that woman's name who talks about the total body network? The dark-haired girl. Her name is
Sabrina Wallace.
Which one? Yes, Sabrina Wallace. Yes. So she talks at length about this, and it's pretty scary stuff. You can really get lost in the fear cycle, and it's not really what we try and do here. But it's about being cognizant of being able to observe in others and in yourself when you're under this level of influence. This ties into the radio frequency engagement with HAARP and electromagnetic frequency radiation. We are under siege in this environment. And the first step to getting out of a harmful environment is realizing that it could be potentially harmful. So in the Internet of Things, we are the Internet of Things. We are the thing in the IoT.
Well, on that end, and I'll just ride the coattail on this, and then we'll need to change the subject so we don't go down this road of fear porn. For every person listening to this podcast, if you have children in school or grandchildren in school, you need to ask the school board where your children go to school if they are hiding devices in classrooms and especially the bathrooms in your children's school. And that link that I put out on the Rumble page and on Gandalf's Facebook page, there are school systems that are implementing these devices as a way to, quote unquote, catch the smokers in school. But these devices go a lot deeper than just picking up nicotine smoke. They're picking up words. There's cameras in there. There's speakers in the devices. And there is rumor going on that they're putting these devices in bed and breakfasts, Airbnbs, apartment complexes, hotels. So on that note, I'm more worried about the children and snooping of the children. So if you have children in schools, grandparents that have children in schools, ask the school board if they're hiding these devices because it's borderline privacy invasion, especially in the bathrooms with cameras in the bathrooms. So I'll stop that, but we need to kind of change the subject before we go down this whole deal of fear porn and on a negative note. So anybody else got a more positive thing we want to get on to? Sheepdog, you got something you want to brighten our day with?
Sunshine and rainbows.
There you go.
Yeah, the DEFCON 3 or 33. Yeah, we played that. It was, I don't know if the pucks didn't have camera capability, but they had the ability
To listen.
to listen for sure. And especially if a high school student can hack it, then it's hackable. And when you take it apart, you get the Raspberry Pi software in there.
Yep.
That
Right.
video on the morning chat and the show the other day.
So it's really cheaply put together, but it's sold for what, $1,500 to the schools, $2,000 a piece.
Yeah.
That's correct. But you know, it's like that high school student found. This is just another way for them to collect more and more data on us. And with the devices nowadays being that small, I'm sure there's devices out there that those particular ones don't have a camera in it, but I'm pretty sure that other devices similar to that one, that there's cameras embedded into those.
So there are cameras. I sold this stuff for just I supported school systems in the Southeast U.S. for networking infrastructure and protected intranet for kids that were on campus. They could only get to certain stuff. And when we were implementing these, they had a number of sensors in them. And this is 10 years ago. I know that they had the ability to catch like a vape because the sensor set that's within them, but they had infrared cameras. And they've got speakers in them so you can yell at people in a certain spot and say, hey, you kids, stop smoking in the bathroom, because this is not a new thing. Smoking in the bathroom was a song in the 50s or 60s. So, but it is about observation and track and trace. Yeah, so there are cameras in there, but they're supposed to be only turned to infrared so they can just tell if someone is in the bathroom. And if so, what is the outline of that person? And this is all done under the protection of kids for the false flag school shootings. That's the umbrella that they're coming in under to implement a higher percentage of square footage of coverage by multiple types of cameras.
Yeah, but what it's doing is it's snitching on kids for smoking in the boys' room.
Yeah, there should be no cameras in there. I think that's ridiculous, and nobody should be involved in that either. That's invasion of privacy.
They have sensors. They know when
Right.
somebody's in the bathroom. They have lasers that test the air,
Yep.
so they know when you're hitting that doobie
Mm-hmm. Or anything.
or a vape or a cigarette. But
Well, he called
also,
it the spy cut, but what was it
it's
called? The Halo?
yeah, it's called a halo.
Yeah.
And it's made by Motorola. So there's your sign.
Yeah, Motorola, like you said, Motorola has been buying up all these little small companies, surveillance that, put together stuff like that. I'm sure you can get
Well, I
contracts.
mean, here's the question that me and another security engineer had the conversation today. And this is a good question for Gand as well. With all of this technology we have, that the three-letter agencies who are collecting all of our data, whether they say that they're doing it or not, how come there are such a high crime rate of pedos, kidnappings, shootings? If there should be, I'm surprised there's not some form of an algorithm that collects the voice data that can pinpoint it to correlate the words used over and over again, that they're not tracing this stuff already.
There are
That's
what we went over that one
citywide.
night about Palantir, and I read over. Well, it was actually in
Yeah,
the chat. I read
Palantir.
all about Palantir's been in place since 2003. In 2013, they started contracting with the police, the CIA, Homeland Security. I named I read about 15 agencies, and just in 2021 or 2020, during Trump's first term, it started going on an algorithmic, right? So they've been using the algorithm. That's how they've been catching people. So yeah, it goes into deep. I read that there's tons of information on that. But yeah, it's run by algorithm. The government's run by algorithm right now.
sure. Well, and that goes down to a conversation that myself and Bird had the other day. For the people that have not seen the movie Minority Report, you need to go watch this, because that's what's coming in this police state that they're slowly implementing around us. They're going to catch your thoughts. You're speaking of words, of things that you're going to do, things that you've already done. And there has to be some law out there that this is an invasion of privacy, that somebody hasn't sued the pants off of the federal government and all the three-letter agencies for this. But if you get a chance, go watch that movie, because that's what we feel is on the verge of happening.
So in the 60s, there was a technology that was implemented called a G729, which is a codec, CODEC, and a codec is a compression algorithm. And that common compression algorithm was put in for all of the cross-country and intercontinental lines, meaning phone lines, that were implemented at the time. This is pre-publicly accessible internet. DARPA was still working on ARPANET, ARPANET, which is the predecessor to the internet. So the G729 codec management system was put in place, and this allowed for a common language for the compression of every single phone call that was made. And also, think about that. This data has been collected for quite some time, 70, 80 years. So as we get into our current structure, it all works off of the same set of guidelines. So to answer Durandal's question, they're listening to us, this pre-crime that is outlined in the movie that Durandal's talking about here, the Minority Report. It's about prediction. So every single word of every single phone call that happens in our nation is actively tracked. And that's what this Palantir company is really good at. And Palantir's been around a long time. The guy who started Palantir, Peter Thiel, he was Musk's partner in the roll-up of PayPal. So, and PayPal is about financial transaction tracking as well. So there are systems in place that look for keywords. And you could, in the 70s, if you picked up a payphone and give it a hook flash, which is tapping the thing that the receiver goes down on in old-fashioned payphones, and you just spoke into the phone a certain number of words, that I, shoot. I'm not going to use these words because I don't want to get us banned on our platforms because they're still in play. But there would be an unmarked car that would show up at that payphone within a certain number of minutes, pretty much anywhere in the nation. That's an absolute fact. And that was the Three Letter Boys at that point, using early computers to pick those words out in the Minority Report is the name of the movie, Jack. It's a Tom Cruise flick. So this technology has been in place for a long time to be able to do keyword picking and real-time assessment, threat assessment under the tier of stopping terrorism and crime. So Durendal made a comment about why is it that we can't go pick up all of these people? Well, that's because they're shielded within the system. I can also make things not heard. So I can give people what's called a whitelisting, a certain number of people that are exempt from the system. There are also auditory capture devices in most major cities, and they are backed by a technology called shot track. So that uses a triangulation matrix or an index so that if there is a shot fired, because the percussive response of a gun can be broken down to what type of weapon it is based on the sound that it makes. And if I have 3 points, I can triangulate a position, basic geometry. So if there's a shot that rings out, the cops are immediately notified with the shot track system so that they can know the location and a good guesstimate, pretty close guesstimate of what type of weapon is actually being used so they can identify what they're looking for. So they've got it in the open air. They're tracking us through every camera available all the way down to the Ring cameras at this point. This is the Minority Report. And the Palantir system is predicting where you're going to be, what you're going to do. So the big answer for most people is, well, I'm not worried about that because I'm not doing anything wrong. Well, that's a really good defense until the definition of what is wrong changes. Well, you're supposed to be wearing a mask. Well, there's no law that says that. Well, the pre-crime says that you're spreading a disease if you don't wear a mask. That's a statutory engagement. That's not a law. So the Fourth Amendment, right to privacy, is what should actually be our defense in this process, but it has been completely abrogated, gone around, subverted in our day-to-day life. So, Mike, those systems exist, but the people that should be tracked for the most heinous of crimes are exempt because they have deleted themselves from the system for observation.
Yeah, if you want to go watch the Humanity Bureau also with Nicolas Cage, that'll give you an idea. Also, watch Upload on Prime. It tells you kind of what the kind of system they want to go. They want to upload people to the cloud, like Sabrina Wallace says. So remember that video we played about the traps everywhere, right? So be careful with what they try to get you excited over, right? Because there is a path out. There is. So, but you have to avoid all those. And not, what do you say, 2% would actually do that. But yeah, Humanity Bureau with Nicolas Cage and Upload on Prime.
Yep. You're right, Miss Sheepdog. The movies, they're telling us in the movies what they're going to do to us. They're telling us.
Oh yeah, yep. And like they said, let's see, where's my notes?
Walter Cronkite told you in the 60s.
They already have what they call Sky Shield, right? It's a planetary grid. It involves the Pentagon and NORAD. So just telling you, it's already up and going.
Yep. And to answer Xenotheo's question, that this isn't just happening here. Now, I will say that we are probably, the U.S. is probably the worst of doing this, but this is happening in the U.K. This is happening everywhere. They're tracking every single person
worldwide
in their countries. So this isn't just here. This is everywhere, and all of this data is being sent to some form of AWS, some form of cloud that AI is going to filter through, and they're going to start profiling people.
So in Asia, they have a social credit score system where if the AI observes you and it can identify you through gait recognition, meaning you're the way you walk, through vocal cadence and voice print recognition, and through face recognition. The kids in Asia and China, you have to walk through a facial recognition detector to get into school. And then there are all people who have chipped themselves voluntarily, which is just stymieing to me. But so that we are in the observation, state. So the U.S. is rampant with this, but China is probably the leader in the realm for the track and trace. Australia and New Zealand are a very close second. There are more cameras in UK per person than almost any other, in London specifically, than almost any other place in the world. So in the realm. So this is being done simultaneously across many countries, and all these systems come back into the greater web, which the cloud doesn't exist. It's all computers. There's not some cloud of data that's living up there. It's all on someone's computer, and whoever owns that computer has access to the data.
And I just thought of another movie, the Will Smith movie, Enemy of the State, that gives you another little taste of what the three-letter agencies can do with our satellite systems. They can track each one of us whenever they want to, how they want to.
Yeah, they already have all our biometrics.
Yep,
So
they do.
It's almost avoidable, but yeah. So what they're going to do is they're going to do. Apparently, they're going to do some announcement and tell the truth, which they have to, and then there will be lots going on, right? So you have to make decisions.
Yep. To me, as a father and a husband and a friend and doing what I do for a living, I have to put this cloud of protection around my family, around my friends, and especially we need to think about doing what we can to protect the children. And right now, our children are oblivious to all this technology of what's being spied on and what's being watched. So for grandparents and parents, it goes back to my original statement. Just pay attention to what's going on with your kids and where your kids are at.
Right. And we played that video from DEFCON on YouTube about the quantum, right? They're trying to get it done by 2030 because they were talking about the solar flares affecting the quantum, and that nothing's unhackable, right? So
Especially the faster the computing gets, the
they can delete
easier.
your account. Any of those stable coins, any Bitcoin, they can delete it completely out. So just saying.
Once they can actually harness the quantum physics and quantum computers, nothing is unhackable at that point.
That's already been done. We're there. The computing baselines exist. It's all about power consumption. You need to, and Trump mentioned this on his 60 Minutes interview, and I know this to be true because of some of the projects that I'm trying to get billable in here the last 8 or 10 months. They're building private power plants to serve just the building. I mean, this is we're on the way to it being in all of our faces about the availability of us to serve the system. Yes, it's all about the children and the kids these days. They grew up in front of a screen. To not have a screen is try and take an iPad away from an 8-year-old. It's a nuclear war. So that it's all about observation. You have to stand up in your sovereign spirit, and that is very difficult to do if you've got an AI plugged into your ear.
We were talking about the data centers, right? How much water it uses, and that's what they're pumping the gas for, the oil. It's for the data centers,
Yep.
right? Drill, baby, drill. Yeah, it's for the data centers. So they have massive ones, and they have plans for massive more ones. So
The new private power plants are small nuclear, which leads to why we're doing more nuclear testing.
yep, exactly.
Yeah, Trump said dust them nukes off. Got to make sure they work.
So, like the gentleman was talking about, there's going to be a path that you can take, or you can go into these different things. So,
Yeah, they also in the
the military guy, yeah. So you'll have to make the decision then.
chat, there was a parent that spoke up and she said that they have QR codes that they have to scan when they leave the classroom
Yeah,
and when they return and stuff like that.
yeah. They're already conditioning them.
So I don't think y'all realize how far ahead they are.
They're already there. That, like they said, they act like they're behind. They're already there.
They're already working on the next generation and ain't even old enough to get a job yet.
But here's the kicker. How come no parents have questioned that?
Ew.
That people have just rolled over and agreed to it, and nobody's questioned it. I can promise you, if we still had kids in school, I would be in their face all the time about why. Did you sign any paperwork that requires that? No. Somebody needs to start asking those questions of the school system, the colleges, because like Sheepdog said, they're just conditioning our children now at a very young age, 5, 6, 7 years old. They're already conditioning them to not question it, what's going on, just accept it. We have to question why and what the paperwork, the legality for them to do that, to scan a QR code to let your child in school, to let them out of the classroom.
Well,
I like to see the documentation. I like to see the paperwork that requires that.
I believe at some point they want to get rid of the teachers.
Oh yeah, yeah. They are.
So that way the AI or the computer system knows when you leave, the human leaves the classroom and when it re-enters. So it'll have a log.
That's why they won't need
Because
the police either.
they're just training, they're just testing out something for the future that the present teachers aren't being quite aware of. Some are, and I believe that's why a lot quit. But that's just
Right.
Yep.
They don't need judges. They don't need police officers. They don't need a lot of things because they have all this already in place.
they just put your kid in the classroom, hit them in front of watch a few AI videos,
Just
and
like
do a
they
test on the computer, go home.
just like that video they showed in China, where the little kids go up there, they scan their thing when they will go in. They have a monitor that's an AI that teaches them. Yeah, it's exactly what they want to do, and they're in competition with China with that type of system.
That way they can control the curriculum across the board, and they don't have to worry about whether or not a teacher's on being.
It's their idea of getting humanity right.
That's programming.
Yeah.
The future.
But they're also by the time with them doing that though, and I'm thinking about, and like I said, I spend 9-10 hours a day in this cyber stuff. They're taking the human element away from our children. Kids, if you can find children, elementary, junior high school, that can actually have a conversation, it's because they have good home life, they have good friends that they can have a conversation. But for them to do this, to quote unquote eventually take the teachers out of the classroom, they're already doing this with specific jobs. They're taking the human element out of our society, and the whole function of speech and communication is going to suffer. Why? Because now we have Chat GPT constructing emails and documents and thesis. When does the human brain, like Gann said something about 20 minutes ago, if you don't use your mind, you end up losing. Go ahead, Sheepdog.
Go ahead, sorry.
Oh,
Go
there's
ahead.
a natural quantum field, right? The natural quantum field is already in existence that we need to connect to. not the artificial quantum field. That's an overlay over the original the creator has. So,
That's it.
you'll have to make those decisions.
So it's a race for the quantum computers, and they're saying Q Day is going to be 2035, but they're sounding the alarm saying no, we got to be ready way before 2030. It's not going to be in time to. I think they're trying to migrate to something else.
Yes. Yes. And that they're already having glitches, right? So they're trying to speed it up to beat the
Right.
Q.
They're calling it Y2Q instead of
Yeah.
Y2K.
Right. They're trying to beat the Q. The Q is I don't know what that is, but it's what they have to beat to
It's the
keep it
Q.
going. Yes.
Quantum computing is what it is.
Because they said the Q will shut it down, just like Y2K. They thought it was going to happen then,
Yeah.
but it's
Well,
gonna.
it's because of the zeros and the ones. They only had 2 numbers in it in the codes.
Right.
So now they have multiple.
Right. So they're trying to beat it, so we don't have a Q day or a Y2K day where
Y2Q.
all the infrastructure goes out.
Y'all remember that? When
Yeah.
Y2K, everything was supposed to.
Y2K.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
I
remember.
made a lot of money
Still
that
breathing,
year.
right? Are y'all still breathing? I'm still here, so I guess we survived it.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, just checking. Well, y'all were talking about old emails and talking about retro computers, and I went back and I was watching this little clip here earlier today from 1984, 1980s technology, and right here it has Oracle. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
Hmm.
That Oracle is the one that's got the $500 billion investment into the AI tech for the possibility of curing cancer or whatever other things they want to use it for.
Oh yeah.
The database.
Palantir, Gotham City. That's one of their programs. Really called Gotham City. It's crazy.
And it shows some of the items that Gandalf was talking about right here. So I found this, and I caught that Oracle. I was wanting to show. And I was also have been looking into the computers going way back to 67. They were telling us Walter Cronkite laid it all out, man. He really did. They really did it. And then you see right here, 1994, the VR headsets already.
Mm-hmm.
Now in 2025, it's being sold to us like it's something new, and
Right.
here's a guy who has it in 1994. I mean, it wasn't the best. I'm sure they had to improve it, but
Hey, Sheepdog, are you showing something over your right now? You got your X.com screen showing. I didn't know if you were trying to show something else.
yeah, let me show. I was sharing a long time ago. Let me go to. Yeah, let's do this one. Sorry about that. Right here. I'm sorry. Probably right here. You'll see that 1980s technology, 1984 Oracle database. They're just talking about how to send emails from like the very beginning.
Database Studio to their home. Pat Green and Julian, welcome to Database.
Hello, Jane.
Hello, Jane.
Now, Julian, I see you have your computer linked to the telephone line. Can you tell us how you did that?
Yes, well, it's very simple, really. The telephone is connected to the telephone network with a British Telecom plug, and I simply remove the telephone jack from the telecom socket and plug it into this box here, and it's now telling me to
make.
Extremely simple. And replace the
He's
receiver.
got a rotary phone hooked up to his computer.
And
that's funny. All right. But I caught the Oracle thing on that one. I want to go to this one.
Welcome.
12:49 and 15 seconds.
It wasn't that long ago that if you had talked about virtual reality or modems or faxes or CD-ROMs, people would have looked at you as if you'd just landed from Mars. But now, technology has invaded every corner of our lives. Used to be, if you wanted a phone number, you looked in a Rolodex. Now you can carry around a portable electronic Rolodex. Or have your home computer store phone numbers and even dial the phone for you. If you wanted to find out about, say, Teddy Roosevelt, you used to look in the encyclopedia. Now with CD-ROM on your computer, there's Teddy himself with pictures and words.
And a fair deal for every man and every woman.
And if you always wrote your appointments down in a book, now there's the Personal Digital Assistant, or PDA, like Apple's Newton. It has a pager to receive data.
Motorola.
It gets messages from the office and more.
4 times a day, I get daily updates on world news, sports news, entertainment, business news.
It recognizes your handwriting. It even sends faxes.
Will it go get coffee or pick up lunch for you?
No, but it does have an alarm and it will wake you up. I could actually circle this, or if I wanted to, go into dates.
And what about all the changes in home entertainment? Remember these? 8 tracks? Obsolete. And for you younger members of the audience, this is called a record. Go to a record store these days. Can you find any records?
Records. You mean the black things with the holes in the middle?
Actually, they have a few records for dance clubs and mobile DJs, but CDs have just about replaced the record, and they're about to replace cassettes as well.
Well, I would say within the next 2 years, cassettes, be back there with your 8 tracks.
And now you can get movies on 5-inch CDs with features that allow you to select any part of the movie you want. The Ryan briefing? Sure.
Come on, this is no longer a research project.
San Diego is a frequent test market for the very latest in home electronics.
More and more manufacturers around the world are coming to San Diego because of the demographics that we have here and just the nature of the market itself.
We got a sneak preview of Starsight. It'll come out this fall, an on-screen TV program guide. It gives program listings and summaries. It also lists shows by themes: movies, news, comedies, sports.
If you're a basketball fan, you want to see what's on, what basketball games you're on.
Sure. I go to sports, I go down to basketball, and here are all the basketball-related programs.
This will eventually be included in some TV sets and VCRs when you buy them. And things we're already familiar with are getting smaller, a 3-inch color TV screen, and a combination TV set and VCR that fits in your hand.
Of course, we're all familiar with portable cellular phones. You've all seen phones like this, but did you ever think they'd get this small?
Camcorders are smaller, and now you can use them with your computers.
The computer graphics are overlaid on the live video on the camera.
You want a small computer? Well, you've heard of laptops. This is a Palm Top. A little hard to type on, but it does a lot.
Almost anything you can use a regular PC for, other than maybe big graphics programs, you could do on this.
And if you think you have the very latest in computers, just wait a little.
A computer that you buy today will likely be obsolete 6 months from now, and there's not a dang thing that you can do about it.
Keeping up is hard to do. It's the wave of the future, and San Diego is riding the wave. San Diego is becoming a high-tech and software center. There are close to 200 software development companies here, and virtual reality has become an actual reality.
Virtual reality is where you're immersed in a computer-generated environment.
Virtual reality was displayed at the San Diego Electronics Show for entertainment value, but it has more practical applications.
In architecture, where you could actually walk through buildings before they're built. You can have it in medicine, where you could have virtual surgery. Medical students, for instance, could practice on a virtual patient rather than an actual patient.
Kaiser Electro-Optics of Carlsbad makes the headset. Angel Studios of Carlsbad did the animation.
Whoa, just slammed into a door. Didn't even hurt.
San Diego has been a test market for interactive television. Daniels Cablevision has been offering a service that lets you tell your TV what you want to see at any given moment. News, movie reviews, financial information. It has games you play against other people on the system, and you can go shopping or pay your bills. As for home computers, San Diego is one of the most computer-literate areas in the country, and we see it all here. Multimedia is the hot item now. CD-ROMs like Cinemania, which not only have movie reviews and pictures, but actual scenes from movies like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Would you make a jump like that you didn't have to?
I have to, and I'm not gonna.
It's the sort of thing that you really can't do any other way. You can have a book of movie reviews and a book of movie stills and so on, but to put it all together like this is really unique to multimedia computing.
The San Diego Zoo has a CD-ROM. Choose an animal and watch.
That's what we're here for, to make their day better.
And there are the online services, computer bulletin boards, where you can converse with people you've never met or seen. Now, if you just figured out how to program your VCR, all this technology can be a bit too much. The non-technical person can get overwhelmed.
Oh, that happened years ago. That happened years ago. We're overwhelmed by it.
The future has arrived.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
In 2001, there was a talking computer named Hal. In 1994, there's a computer that talks to Hal, or anyone else.
Welcome to Macintosh.
Thank you. The Apple Mac Quadra responds to voice commands or questions.
Computer, what time is it?
12:47 and 14 seconds.
That's right. Computer, open calculator.
I would much rather have the ability to knock out something.
If it's all a bit much, some advice from the experts. Learn about computers before you buy one.
The wrong thing to do is just go out and buy a computer and then learn about it. You'll learn, but you'll learn a lot of things that maybe you didn't want to learn.
The technology's not getting easier. It's getting more complicated.
There is hope, and the power and the things you can do with a computer today are so much better that ultimately it's worth it.
And on the horizon, talk of 500 channels on your TV, video, movies on demand, information superhighways with everything at your fingertips. Here it comes, ready or not.
So that was 1994. So they pretty much showed you, right, everything, the progression, and they thought it was so cool that the computer told them what time it was. And then, so you've seen the progression of where we're at now, right? So that was about 30 years ago, but we could even go back further. And I'm just going to play a couple of minutes here. So right here we see the digital revolution is, computer revolution is barely 20 years old in 1967. So topics addressed here would be computer-controlled machines, air traffic control systems, medical services and research, problem solving and analysis, computer graphics and voice interference, government database systems, financial and tax information, military systems and space exploration, public research and education.
The incredible power of the human mind. This is the machinery of revolution, a revolution that will amplify the already incredible power of the human mind. The machinery is the computer, and it can run paper mills, or the same techniques can be turned to the problems of making steel. The computer is not limited to industrial chores. It can turn symbols no man can understand into the words that fill his daily newspaper. The impact of the computer on our lives already is incalculable. Soon it will transform an age, and the future will be unthinkable without the computer. This computer runs a Bethlehem steel mill in Burns Harbor, Indiana. Within its memory banks are the instructions needed to turn a red-hot slab of 12-inch thick steel into a shimmering, paper-thin ribbon a quarter of a mile long. This mill was designed around the computer. Its giant roughing stands and hydraulic sprays are computer-directed and controlled. Orders are fed to the computer in the form of punch cards. The ability of computers to run other machines is called process control. It has given the limited brain of the computer muscles of enormous power.
All right. I'm not going to bore you with the whole video. I just wanted to show you what replaced even back then what was that, the word, the industrial complex, where they replaced man with machine over time.
Yep.
You see how they over time introduced that into it to make it, I think it's life a little easier, right? You didn't have to do all that work by hand, but it still took you away from that craftsmanship over time.
Yes.
And that's what in China and other cultures they preserve that, and that's why they still make stuff by hand, because they knew the machine would replace, and then that breaks down, right?
Yes.
So yeah, I've been going back looking at the progression of this and how we got here. It didn't just start. It didn't. No, it's been decades. They plan decades and decades ahead. Like right now they already got your kids, so they're already thinking 10, 20, 30, 40 years ahead with your children right now of whatever they can provide to the system, right? They feed off of a
Right.
right.
It's like in that movie, Leave the World Behind, right? Who goes back to the technology? The child, because he couldn't do without it.
Can I chime
What
in?
Is that another movie? Leave the World Behind? Yeah,
Leave
go ahead.
the world behind, yes.
So the real question when we're talking about our kids here is this concept of an avatar. And everybody's seen the movie Avatar, or they've heard about it, with the blue people and the whatever. But an avatar is a digital representation of yourself. So when I was growing up, the school, we had shop class and all that kind of stuff. It was a completely different learning environment. And you had a representation of yourself that was at school, and you had a representation of yourself at home. You might have a representation of yourself in your church life or your other social gatherings, but those were all physically tied to you. In the new world that is being foisted upon us, shoved down our throats, the kids these days are split between the way they represent themselves online and the way they represent themselves in the physical universe. And increasingly so, it is true that the kids are identifying more with their digital selves, whether it's the gamer tag that they play under. And maybe this is hypocritical. I'm here under a persona, but my online persona is tied to me. It's a representation of who I am. There are people in our society that they buy props. They go on a staycation in their house and they throw up a green screen and they actually try and convince people that they are someplace cool so that they can keep up with the Joneses and look like they're travel counselors or whatever. There was a case last year where some guy who supposedly was in the North Pole or whatever, he told his kids he was going there. He collected a bunch of money and he did it all from his garage with movie sets. So I think the real challenge here as parents and as friends of people who are stuck in this Instagram, Facebook, whatever representation of themselves is, how do you not get caught in that trap? I've seen a couple of attempts here in the chat thread. What do we do to get out of this? What's our way out? And if Mike Penny were here, he would hammer the fact that we need to understand. We need to go within ourselves and talk to that true moral baseline that is within us. We don't need to become the avatar. And especially with our children, it's very important to engage with them. If everybody's sitting in the living room and everyone's staring at a screen, parents also, then you are fostering this environment. We are being digitally groomed. That is absolutely the truth. And the product of that digital grooming is the avatar, the digital representation of yourself. So just check your six. What are you? Are you the same person that you represent yourself to be online, at least partially? Because that is the slippery slope for especially the adolescents and as children are defining themselves, they're being pushed into trans grooming, and all that becomes available to impact them at a core level because of this engagement with technology and the warping of their self-worth. How do they feel about themselves? How do they see themselves? What is their perception of themselves? Because that's hard enough to do, especially as a teenager. Your body's going through all these changes. To identify yourself with the false reality that is your digital engagement is a trap. So the way to get out is to just even partially get away from the technology. Take your kids out, go for a walk, teach them how to, make explosives wait, that was my adolescence. So I just be very careful, be wary and not weary in this process. Engage with your children, engage with your friends. If see something, say something. I have done this for many years. If I'm talking to someone and they take out their phone and start looking at it, I just stop talking. You can't do two things. You can't engage with someone in an interpersonal level, especially if you're within that 6 foot range, because your biofields start engaging, and the toroidal field that is the same as our realm, you have one of those inside of you. Engage with others. You cannot do that in the digital space. So watch your own reflection of yourself within the digital environment, but be extra diligent when dealing with your children. That's I know we keep coming back to that thread, but
well, and on that same note, everybody's digital image of themselves, and I'm going to speak from experience here. We have had the pleasure of interviewing potential candidates for employment. And do you know what the first thing we do is? Every single candidate that submits a resume to the company that I work for, we go check their digital footprint. And you will be surprised, maybe you wouldn't be surprised, some of the stuff that we have seen on somebody's digital avatar, Instagram, whatever you want to call it, their digital footprint. So, and you need to remember, and this is where I know we're driving this thing home about the kids. Whatever the kids put on digital media, it's there forever. So, like Gan was saying, are you the same person in your avatar? Are you the same person in real life? That stuff is going to follow you, especially your kids at a very young age, their whole entire life. So just as another point, just be aware. I can honestly say that when Bird titled this show "Catching Dreams," I had no idea where this was going to go. So I guess we turned it into a technology forum podcast tonight.
So that's what the indigenous was talking, what they were referring to with the dream catchers, right? They
Yep.
knew about the Skynet. It's not nothing new. Same
Right.
thing.
It's Charlotte's Web.
Yes.
Like the spider weaves
it.
its web.
Yep.
Right. Same thing.
Yeah, they collect your data, your dreams, everything.
That's why they call them the net. The natives call them the net.
The net.
DNET.
Because they can't create, so they use our imagination and our dreams to create their reality.
Yeah, the Hopi.
And like in that the guy was mentioning Willow in the movie Avatar, that's what she connects her hair to, right? It's called the Willow. Right, the one they want you to connect. You want to disconnect. some point it's going to be optional.
That's how they're gonna get the other people is because they're disconnected. They're
Right.
right.
That's right.
It's test on your everything.
Go back and watch the Hopi prophecy, and it will tell you there's two roads, right? So you will have an option.
Right. You got free will. This isn't like everybody's gonna get loaded on a train.
Yeah. But if you go in, like they said, the door closes. You don't come back out. Once you're hooked up, you're hooked up. I mean,
Well,
we're
and
already all kind of pretty much now, but you're going to be full hookup. There's another movie I watched. They kind of show you what that's going to be like too, and I can't remember the name of it.
well, when you said that, it reminded me of Star Trek: The Next Generation and the Borg. The Borg wanted to assimilate everybody into the Borg, into one collective. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, that was 10 years ago, 12 years ago when that came out.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're trying to tell us then. They're trying to assimilate us all.
Right, and there's even a Star Trek where they talk about Q, right?
Yep.
Yep. So, yeah, they're telling you in everything, and that way they can't say they didn't tell you.
Right. They're telling us. It's right there in our face.
Yeah, they've been telling you. That's why I've been going back and looking at the old programming from 60s and 50s, and I'm like, damn, it's been a slow progression, but that's been what we're at. Where we're at right now is the dream date. When you go and look at that clip from They Live when he walked into the auditorium with all those people sitting there at dinner, they said the goal was 2025.
Yes, sure.
And that movie was made in 1988.
Right.
Yep.
And then he said,
But
you can't beat them. They run everything. And he said, you might as well join them, right? Yeah.
Or you'd be like the main character and They Live and say, I'm here to kick ass and chew bubble gum and I'm all out of bubble gum.
That's right. Because there's something to that. When you chew bubble gum, it interrupts your thought process that they can't catch.
Yep.
That's why he said that.
But something else occurred to me when you were playing that one video from 1984. What we have seen since 1984 until now, it's going to be the same amount of technology increase within the next 5 years we've seen in 40. And I don't know whether and I'm speaking from experience, I don't know whether our security, personal as well as technology wise, is ready for an increase of that magnitude in such a short time.
That's what that guy was talking about when he was going on the quantum computers.
Yep.
Now, that was a big danger. That's what he was talking about. He was sounding an alarm.
Well,
yeah, that guy even said that he questioned once quantum was fully online, whether anybody's personal accounts would be safe any longer.
Right. He said it will be they won't be able to control it. That's why they're trying to beat it. But
they said they don't need to go to no higher than 256 bits or something.
2 bits.
2 bits.
Right. And so
thousands.
Those bits are what's called hashing and salting, and hashing and salting is the standard procedure that's used technologically to hide and obfuscate passwords, login information, primary critical information, the 16 pieces of information that make you in the digital world, which is your social security number, your mother's maiden name, your date of birth, all those things. There is no security system right now that exists that has come to pass in the last 70 or 80 years of adoptable computers that is safe against a fully functioning quantum computer. They can brute force attack any password, any protocol. It's like taking candy from a baby. You're exactly right.
So I guess Mike Penny was onto something 4 or 5 years ago when he was saying get all your stuff, all your financial stuff out of fiat. Because if you don't have anything in the banks and you have everything on hand, then when quantum comes fully online, you don't have to worry about anybody stealing your stuff.
I don't remember
So
he changed his stance on that. He said don't get it all out. Change it into gold and silver.
Yeah, that's
right,
what he's saying.
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
put it into precious metals. Get your money out at because like that one guy was saying on DEF CON, quantum comes online. Even 256-bit encryption is not safe. The power behind that will crack that. Well, they used to say 256 bits will take 1,000 years to crack.
4
Now
minutes.
you're talking minutes. Yeah, you're talking minutes now.
Right. And he said that they're promoting this stuff as blockchain that's not hackable. And they said that they could show you right then they can hack into it already.
Yep.
All the bitcoins are totally hackable.
Yeah, they can do something to the blockchain.
Yeah.
With 64 bits.
Yes. Within just 64 qubits.
Yep.
So blockchain is not the most secure.
No.
Because according to the experts, I'm not a computer guy, but that DEF CON thing has a lot of information there, and it shows you how big this battle really is, right? It's not just what we think; it's even bigger than that.
He also has another podcast called Post Quantum. What was a gentleman talking on DEF CON? He's got a lot of great information there also. So follow those channels, you'll get a lot of great information.
Yep. Because that same guy was talking that once quantum comes fully on board, no country's secrets are safe anymore.
Right.
Exactly.
Because you can write the AI algorithm to go dig it, and quantum will get it. Yep. So nothing will be secret any longer.
No, nothing.
They say they have it all. Wait till quantum comes fully online, and then they will truly have it all.
They surely will. That's right. That's what he was saying.
But I mean, that DEF CON, I've watched about a week's worth of it, and there's some good stuff in there. But those guys are just they're worried as well.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, I didn't. I hope this show didn't put a lot of fear porn or a lot of fear out there to the audience.
No, it's not fear. It's factual, right? So you have to speak the truth and the facts, so that people can make wise decisions.
Right.
Otherwise,
Because that goes to the Kennedy speech when he was warning about about all this and the media's responsibility to report even the negatives. Right. So that people can make a better decision.
Otherwise, you're not helping them.
Right.
That's
why I'm bringing the. Sorry about. Go ahead, Nadine.
There probably wasn't enough information out because now we have the internet. When there's not enough information out, then people they don't hear it from anybody because you can't tell your friends and family because they think you're nuts and they don't believe you. You got to be the third person in, like the manager that comes over and says, "Oh, how can I help with this?" So you have to try to help your fellow man and woman to get out of this. So that's just it. There wasn't enough information out there. It wasn't the correct timing for all this to come to an end. It's right now is when it's supposed to be ending. And you have to help however you can. And do as much as you possibly can. Not be like, oh yeah, I did my bit for the day. No, you got to go do some more.
Our projections show that by the year 2025, not only America, but the entire planet will be under the protection and the dominion of this power alliance. The gains have been substantial, both for ourselves and for you, the human power elite. You have given us entree to the resources we need in our ongoing quest for multidimensional expansion. And in return, the per capita income of each of you here tonight has grown, in this year alone, by an average 39%. And I have just received word that our forces have won a major victory. The underground terrorist network has been destroyed here on the West Coast. We are off crisis alert. The situation is normal again.
How you doing?
Your underground thing was destroyed. They got it.
That was the resistance, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the resistance, right? And then they got it fixed. And then we showed the, I think it was on the live chat in the morning, we showed the Subtropolis, right? The underground, they have many in almost every state. They go clear across the terrain, across the country, high-speed railroad, tons and tons of food, cars, vehicles, trains, boats, you name it, all in there.
Yeah, Subtropolis was mined by the Hunt family, Lamar Hunt, that owns the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes, and he that's his. Yeah, so go look at the Hunt family too. Go to Watts Water, type in the Hunt family, read about him. So yeah, they have full operations down there. They have restaurants, they have McDonald's, they have Starbucks, you name it. It's all down there.
So, yeah, Elon Musk details Doge's most shocking discoveries and why AI is key to solving the debt crisis, right?
That's the nature of the scam. It's a bank shot. So then the rebuttal from the Dems is like, oh, well, the vast majority of the people who are marked as live in the Social Security Administration weren't receiving Social Security Administration payments. That is true. What they forgot to mention is they're getting fraudulent payments from every other government program. And that's why the Dems were so opposed to turning off, to declaring someone dead who was dead. Because it would stop the entire all the other fraud from happening.
And so, but all this, is it trackable? Like all this other fraud,
It's
if
totally
they
trackable.
wanted to, they could chase it all down.
Yeah, it's not even hard.
And yet they're opposing chasing it all down.
They're opposing chasing it all down because it turns off the money magnet for the illegals.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because it's very logical to like I'm saying the most common sense things possible. If someone's got a birthday in Social Security that is an impossible birthday, meaning they are older than the oldest living American or were born in the future, then you should call them and say, excuse me, we seem to have your birthday wrong. Because it says that you're 200 years old. That's all you need to do. And
then you would remove them from the Social Security database and make that number no longer available for all those other government payments.
Exactly.
Wow. And how much money are we talking?
It's hundreds of billions of dollars.
And this is all traceable. Like you could hunt all this down.
Like you don't need to be Sherlock Holmes here. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
we don't need to call Sherlock Holmes for this one.
Is this part of
the? We just need to call the person. And say, excuse me, we seem to have the we must have your birthday wrong because it says you're 200 years old or were born in the future. So could you tell us what your birthday is? That's all you need to do. It's that simple.
But all these other government payments that are available that are connected to this Social Security number, it seems like if you just chased that all down, you would find the widespread fraud. You would find where it's going.
Yes, but the root of the problem is the Social Security Administration database, because the Social Security number in the United States is used as a de facto national ID number. You know, that's why, like, the bank always asks for your social. So, like, any financial institution will ask for your Social Security number.
It sounds so insane that this isn't chased down. I mean,
I agree.
That in and of itself that's such mishandling.
Yes. No, it's mind blowing. So yeah, it's crazy.
Well, you were.
No.
That is just mind blowing right there.
Yeah, but does it really take AI to do something like that? To call and verify, or somebody's getting paid Social Security money to an account and they're 200 years old? So, is that what it is? Is that where the fraud is? They weren't clearing the things, they were still paying them?
Yep.
Damn. They didn't even have Social Security back then. They would have to have applied for Social Security when it first started. Like,
Now you got Nadine all tickled.
Who was collecting Social Security 200 years ago?
Damn, I'm good.
They're 200 years old.
It's ridiculous.
Or even if they were 200 years old, if they've got it, Social Security came out when?
1933.
Okay. Shit.
The New Deal.
Damn.
You can't get a decent person on the phone right now to help you with basically anything. If I call, I hardly call and talk to anybody, but if I call 5 people, most of them are going to just return to the same basic thing that they said in the beginning. It's duh. And I end up doing that to them. I'm like, duh. Because it's just so ridiculous to try to get anybody to think outside of their own little situation and what they know already. I got a hard time talking with people. The good ones, I really thank them a lot. You know, the ones that can see beyond, but they're few and far between right now. But thinking for yourself just doesn't happen.
Right. It's already pretty much hive mind. Right. So.
But you know what's scary to me about that statement that Musk was just talking about? That means that the Social Security computer system database, it's so old and so legacy that they have never upgraded it because they would have found dates that would have been impossible for a human being to be old.
It goes along with our roads, the water systems, all of it. Where the money is gone, it's been gone. They've been stealing it forever, and they've been giving it to all of their people in the club, like in the towns. They have all of their family members going out for the jobs. It's just all been stolen. Just poof, you know.
Like they said, in that Subtropolis, they show you the data center, and they have data centers underground as well. These big data centers, and they were showing the archives of all their people's Social Securities, all their information. It's all in these data center computers already. So I think they're just using those Social Securities for something for themselves. But it was crazy what they had down there. It was unbelievable. They had reels of every Hollywood video, all the way back to what was the 1900s? They have every single one of them. It's crazy.
And I mean, I've been in the caves in the underground in Kansas City. Company that I work for, we had a disaster recovery plan and all of our equipment down there. I had to go service that. So I mean, that stuff's been around for who knows how long.
Long time.
Well, they were mining it in the 40s.
Allegedly, it might have been even before that.
They needed it for the limestone, but what it looks like to me is it was meant for what they have now.
Yeah, it's for them. So that's what the plan was.
Because
They go underground, and then whoever's left on top.
Lamar Hunt said he found some abandoned mines that the Hunt family mined.
Right. But this has been done before.
Right.
The indigenous talk about the people that went underground before. They called them the ant people.
Like Motorola.
Because when they came out, they hadn't seen sunlight. They looked like ants. So they go underground when something happens. But there were survivors each time. And they were surprised when they came back up, there was people still around.
Like roaches.
Right.
I mean, even the military knows the inside of a mountain, just like Airwolf flying out of the mountain.
Right. So they planned for something. Obviously, they had over $1 billion worth of stamps underneath there. They have like tons. I mean,
Could
not
be a solar
hundreds of
event.
thousands of pounds, but tons of cheese and all sorts of stuff that they plan on being on down there for a while. Obviously.
Like, and they need to be protected from the solar event, maybe.
The solar flash. Yes, that's what the Indians talk about. They even talk about that what's going to happen, right? And all that technical stuff. What's going to happen with that?
Right. Then we go.
It's in their prophecies. All of their prophecies have been fulfilled.
It's even in the Simpsons prophecy.
Yeah.
So you know it's real.
Yes.
Apocalypse is coming. But it's coming. And soon.
An EMP? You know what that means? Hand scissors.
Some are sounding the alarm on a so-called solar superstorm that could, and this is important, underline the word could, eventually wipe out the internet for weeks or even months. The sun is entering a more active time where it tends to flare more often. After those flares, large blobs, for lack of a better word, of plasma enter space and can distort the Earth's magnetic field, the power grid, satellites, navigation, and GPS systems and communications equipment are all
We shared a video yesterday. What's that guy's name? Dreamers or Dream Space? I'll have to find it, but he talks about the solar events, the plasma events, and how they have it recorded. There's a book it's like super old, like you can't even get a hold of it. It was like the elites have it, but they plan for these things because they know when these things are going to happen. They're saying that that's what what happened during Atlantis and several other resets. It's these solar events. They call them plasma events.
And that's why they have drawn on the side of the caves.
Yeah.
On the side of the walls, it looks like the side of a basketball, like a man standing there with his legs down and his arms up.
Right, that's when they know
The
it's going to
torus
happen.
filled with a plasma.
Yeah, it's going to take out all electronics. That's why they're trying to rush. They're trying to beat this.
Bullshit.
But who's doing the plasma event, right? The creator, for a reason. Right, it's kind of like they're trying to rebuild the Tower of Babel, which Tower of Babel was. They were doing the same thing, trying to get all the knowledge, which is forbidden.
That's why you seen in a video of Walter Cronkite, they were using the computer to try to compete with the human mind, or actually better, to get the knowledge so that they can advance their future.
Yeah, because they were trying to tap into the heavens, that forbidden knowledge you're not supposed to be tapping.
They bit the apple. That's why you're Get the Apple phones.
Yeah, it's happened many times. They keep trying to do it.
That's why it's important to know who you are, connect to source, right? Get the natural healing from the sunlight, know where the UV rays come from. Put your feet firmly on the ground and thank the Lord for the breath in your lungs, because that's consciousness, right? So that's while the rest of the world is having to choose or being led astray, you just connect and stand firm. That's it. That's all you can do. Just pray for everybody and hope that the technology lands in the right hands. Because I don't think there's no stopping it. So I'm looking back at the progression of what got us here, and there was no stopping it then either.
That's right. No, nothing can stop that. Nothing can stop what's coming. Right? They have their coming. That's coming, and God has His.
Right.
That happens on these cycles. They know what. They know when these alignments and all what's going to happen. They prepare. That's why they have these underground cities. They don't do that for nothing.
NASA is a tunneling and trafficking organization and a building arm of the government. All the money for NASA, outer space is outside the ice wall. All the rocket stuff is fake and gay. They spent all that money building underground infrastructure for 65, 70 years now.
Right.
They even have stuff under the water.
Elon's got a boring company, doesn't he?
Yes.
He does a little tunneling.
He has complexes underneath the ocean too, as well. That's what the Terramar was with Maxwell. The submarines. They have a whole infrastructure under this.
I think one day you'll be able to, you won't have to fly to the UK. You'll be able to drive in a tunnel.
You can get anywhere in the realm in about 45 minutes if you're using the underground high-speed trains. They're multiple times the speed of sound.
Yep.
Yeah, they can go to any country thanks to those. Any country.
The future's so bright. I gotta wear shades.
Right?
Love that song.
There you go. So nothing to fear. You just get decisions, how you want to live your life. That's all. And you have that free will, and you have the power to make whatever decision you want to make for what's best for you and your family and their futures. Think about 7 generations ahead instead of just the here and now. And I'm not saying that, because it's the system's always going to be there, whatever this is. For some people, it's going to be heaven on earth. You know what I mean? It really is. So just think about that. Your perception is, and how you see things, the world, and is different from what others see, right? Everybody wants something different. Their heaven, my heaven is different from someone else's heaven. But we all need to create that heaven on earth, starting at home, getting our house in order, and thinking about our grandchildren, and you know, making sure they don't have to further progress into some. The technology is good to keep them safe, keep them safe in the schools and stuff like that. But when you get into like privacy issues, that's where you got to start drawing a line, guys.
And they're already
Hard
doing it.
lines.
That's what that kid was showing. They're already doing it. So, yeah.
Because that's it. It's all constitutional right. It's all constitutional violations. So it's really against everything the forefathers. If you say that, it's set up. Right?
Right.
This
They
isn't.
don't seem to care about that.
No, the Constitution. And in some of the movies, it seems like the constitutionalists are the bad guys.
Yeah, the resistance.
The
It's always the
resistance. It's always the resistance. Even in They Live, it's the resistance. And if you go to the Man in the High Castle, go watch
I was
that.
just about to say that.
Go watch The Man in the High Castle on Prime. You can watch. It's a season, pretty much some seasons. So if you like to watch
It's
season,
really, really good though.
it's really good. It talks about that. It talks about a timeline where the Nazis won the war and they got the East Coast up in New York on down,
Which
and
is
then
probably true.
Japan got the West Coast.
Which is
And
probably
it's the resistance in the middle.
Yeah,
It's
right.
the people that don't go along.
They don't conform.
They don't conform. The nonconformists become the enemy in a totalitarian police state, surveillance state system. They don't. That's what it's for.
But they become the heroes.
But they become the heroes. Yes.
Yeah, because they resisted.
Just resist it till the end.
And they didn't have it wasn't fun for them, but it was worth it.
We're supposed to resist the beast.
Right, and the guy in the high castle is just like the guy in the Wizard of Oz. Like at the end, he tells her, like he knew she was going to do it, that she would pass all the tests, right? Because he had all the tapes. He already knew what she was going to do, and she was the one. So you have to be the one, like in the Matrix. That comes with the frosting.
Who
let the dogs out?
That's it, folks.
Let them out. Let them out. And tonight's show was fire, everybody.
Another good show. Also, please check the description. The links in the description below. We have a few things going on. We got Alexa Rolls, fundraiser, GoFundMe, in our links below if you want to help her out. I'm also going to be talking more about that tomorrow morning and tomorrow with Alexa Roll. Also, we'll be doing the morning chat as usual, where we have an open mic. You never know where the conversations may go, but we really appreciate everybody that is a part of that every morning with us and joins us and participates and opens the mic and drops it like it's hot. Like I really appreciate each and every one of you, no matter. There's just too many to name, but you know who you are. And we also welcome others to get the courage to, maybe if you got a question, if you want to talk about something, to unmute and share. You never know who's listening that you could actually help, that may be in the same situation you have been in.
That's right.
Yes.
Right. So
And on another note, Sheepdog, I know you guys have been, at least a lot of people within the Telegram chat have been doing movie nights. Do you have an idea what the movie of tonight is going to be?
We're going to try to do upload.
Upload. Last night they played They Live.
Yes.
They watched the movie They Live. Love it.
Okay, I just want to just put that out there in case anybody else wants to jump in Telegram later and watch the movie with the group.
I just put Wag the Dog in tape for free.
Yeah, so the next one's Upload.
Yeah, I think that's what they were saying they wanted to watch. We'll confirm that though.
So they know when they're going to get uploaded. They're just preparing.
To the cloud. Yeah, but it shows you because it's like crazy because they have like little coins above their head, like kind of like Bitcoin and digital currency. Yeah, and they can get anything they want, but yeah, it's crazy.
Be mindful of the user agreements, and when you start clicking I agree to things,
Right.
moving forward, be more mindful of that.
Read the 72 pages first.
Read the 776,000 pages
And,
first.
And legal.
Especially on page 76, where you give up access to your camera and your microphone.
In legal language.
That's all we got. Love and light, guys.
Good night, everyone.
Love and light. Great show, everybody. Appreciate everybody's time tonight. Thank you.
Yeah, good night, everybody. Have a fun night at home.
Yep.
All right, bud.
Love and light. Peace out.
I bloomed in the truth.
Hip hop, heel bound, bound. Your hip hop, heel bound, you're bound. Your hip hop, your hip hop, your hip hop, you're bound.
Truth in my head like a whisper. Buried deep, no one saw it. I held the note before I knew it. Silent fires are in deposit. Rain came like grave, like grave. Rain came like grief, like grace. I didn't run, I let it trace. Every root, every scar. That's how I became who you are. The sun kissed my crown. The no one in it in. I didn't just learn, I became truth. Bloomed under my skin. Say that, what it bloom, that bloom is true. Didn't ask for the rain, but it gave me the proof. No, I knew, and I bloomed in the truth. One, it's true. Minds change when we realize that I bloomed in the truth. Not by mimic, not by force, but by letting the know flow.